Good morning, everyone. I want to remind you about the power of a 40-day practice and why this is so important to integrate into your life. So, the other week we were talking about mantra and why this is such a powerful tool for transformation. It works on many levels. It balances the hormones, which is why it's so good for anxiety and depression. It works on the neurons on the brain. It works on circulation. It works on releasing subconscious programming and changing your psyche. So on many different levels, it starts to create changes. And in the Kundalini tradition, we do practices for at least 40 days. And the reason that we do that is because we want to embed the energy of that meditation, that practice deeply into our subconscious so that we start to notice changes in our lives. So we want to make a commitment to ourselves because you're doing it for you, and we don't want to give the ego an exit route. So if there is an exit route, the mind will find an excuse why not to do it. And it's really, really helpful to keep going with a 40-day practice every day. And it's like boiling a kettle. You don't want a lukewarm cup of tea. You want a nice warm or hot cup of tea. And it's the same with the practice. If you really want to embed the potency of the practice into you on a cellular level, into the subconscious, and starting to notice changes in your life, you need to do it every day. You know, another analogy is like knitting a jumper and then dropping stitches. You're going to get a jumper at the end of it, but it's not going to look so good. It's not going to be so effective as one that doesn't have holes in. And it's the same thing. I mean, I've really observed people over the years that I've been teaching, those that do a consistent daily practice, you can really notice a change in the way that they are in the world. They're much more balanced. They're much more grounded. They're less caught up in the throes of their mind. And so I really encourage you to do a 40-day practice. So those of you that joined my mantra workshop, have you started doing it yet? And if not, maybe use this as an encouragement to start doing it. So in the Kundalini tradition, if you do a meditation for 3 minutes, you are changing your blood, the chemistry of your blood. If you do a meditation for 11 minutes, you start to change your nervous system. So you start to bring a deep sense of relaxation to yourself. If you do something for 22 minutes, you're balancing your 3 minds, which is your negative, positive, and neutral mind. We want all of those to be in balance. And then we also can do something for 31 minutes, which starts to really deepen the practice. You start to change on a cellular level. You can also then go and do something for 2.5 hours. And this really then starts to change the grey matter of the brain. So it's like the longer that you do a practice, the deeper that you start to have the effect through your physiology, through your psyche, through your emotions. It's going to change you on every level. So it's really important to commit to a 40-day practice. It's much harder to do it on your own, which is why I run 40-day practices, guided 40-day practices. The next one starting September 2023, where we will be working with releasing fear. And this is a lovely way to have the support of a group so that we journey together every day. You can get all of those details on my website at thegoldenlight.co.uk. But you can also do this for yourself. You know, if you're finding it difficult to commit every day to the same time, then, you know, find space in your day. It's better to do it at some point than not at all. And there are times at the day which are most optimum. So between 4 and 7 a.m. and then in the afternoon between 4 and 7 p.m. These are optimal times. Also midnight is said to be a very potent time to do a meditation as well. So if you can't do those times, find another time, but you'll be supported by the energy with the way that the magnetic field hits the earth at those times, and you'll find that you have a deeper meditation. Also, other things to really help you is to sit on a natural fibre. So whether it's a wool blanket or a sheepskin or a cotton sheet or something like that, use a natural fibre. This is going to absorb the energy of your practice and it's going to really help you. Do it in the same place every day in your house, and this will build the energy there. It will also then means that you're going to go into a deeper state much, much quicker. And eating a more sattvic diet. So sattvic food is like more high vibrational food, like salads, things like that. Things that are more heavy, tamasic, are things like alcohol, sugar, caffeine. They keep your vibration lower. They also disturb the mind, which means it's much more difficult to be able to meditate. So it's like when you're doing a 40-day practice, you also want to really notice what it is that you're consuming. You know, we're purifying on every level, physically, detoxifying, we're purifying the mind. So if you're then putting things in which are counter to that, it's going to make the process much, much more difficult for you. So I would really encourage you to, find a meditation that really resonates with you. Stick with it for 40 days, do it every day. You can build the energy, so you could start with 11 minutes. It's not such a long time, and then start to build it up, maybe a minute a day. If you really want to embody the qualities of the meditation, do it for at least 40 days, but you can then extend the practice. 90 days gives you a new habit, and 120 days means that new habit becomes you. And if you really want mastery, you do something for 1,001 days. But let's just start at the beginning. Let's start with 40 days and see how you get on. Choose a meditation or join me for one of my 40-day practices every day, 6:30 to 7:30 in the weekdays, weekends 8 to 9. They're recorded, which means that you can catch up at a later time if you can't make that session in the morning. So let me know how you get on with your practice, and I really hope to see you soon. Sat Nam.